Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's lesson objective. So today we will solve two-digit dividend division problems with a remainder in the ones placed by using place value discs. The TEKs we're going to cover today are 4.4E, 4.4F, 4.4G, and 4.4H, and 4.5A. All right, so let me go ahead and erase that. So let's first go over some vocabulary. So the first word we are going to go over is dividend. Oopsies. There we go. Okay, so the first word we're going to go over today is dividend. So the dividend is the total amount that is being divided or shared equally. So the dividend is going to be 63. That is what we are sharing. We'll sometimes see this same problem written as 63 divided by 9. So 63 is going to be our dividend. That is what we are sharing. That is a total amount of things that we have. All right. Now, let's go ahead and go over how is this different from a divisor. So a divisor is the number by which the dividend is being divided or shared. It may represent the number of groups or how many are in each group. So the divisor is the number that we are splitting our dividend into. So if we have 65 divided by 9, we're going to go ahead and take 65 objects and divide them into 9 groups, or put 9 in a group. Okay, now the last thing we're going to talk about is quotient. So the quotient is the answer to the division problem. So it's going to tell us the number of groups we have or the number of items we have in a group after we went ahead and distributed them out. Okay, now let's get into our problem for today. So we have 3 10s, 6 1s divided by 3. We can also write this, if we want to write this in standard form, 36 divided by 3. Oh, I'm sorry, not 6, 3. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do this two ways. We're going to do it once with a place value chart and once we're going to do it with our standard algorithm. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my place value. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and draw a box to represent our place value. And over here we have 10s and 1s. So looking at this, we have 3 10s. So I'm going to go and put down 1, 2, 3 10s in my tens place, and then I have 6 1s. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we are dividing by 3. So we're going to create 3 groups. So I'm going to actually go ahead and make 3 groups on my place value chart. So there is 1 group, there's 2 groups, and 3 groups. Now, because we're dividing, everything has to be equal. So let's go ahead and divide out each of our place values. So I'm going to start with the 10s. So I have 3 10s, so I can put 1 10 in each of my 3 groups, right? So I now used up my 3 10s. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my 1s. I have 6 1s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go ahead and start by putting 1 in each. So I have 1, 2, 3 1. Let me cross those 3 1s out so I know I use them. Now I'm going to go ahead and distribute. I have enough for 1 more in each group. So 1, 2, 3. So now, how many do I have in one group? So in one group, I have 1 10 and 2 1s, which equals 12 in standard form. Now let's go ahead and compare this to how this would look when we do the standard algorithm. So when we do standard algorithm, we're going to put our dividend, or the number we are dividing, into this little like square box looking thing. And then we're going to put our dividend, or what we are dividing by, over here over to this side. So like we did over before, we're going to go ahead and divide our 3 10s. So we can divide 3 10s into 3 groups 1 time. So then each of our groups will get 1 10. Now we're going to see how many 10s do we use. So we use all 3 of our 10s. So now we're going to subtract to find out how many we have left over. So we have 0 10s left over. Now I'm going to go ahead and go over to my 1s. I'm going to represent that by bringing my 1s down. So this is what we're working with right now. So now how many times can I take 6 1s and divide them into 3 groups? Well, I can do that 2 times. We see that right over here, right? So we have divided it 2 times into each group. So now we have 2 times 6. So how many 1s did we use all together? We used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we use 6 of our 1s. So now how many 1s do we have left over? We have 0 1s. So our quotient, our answer is 12. So 36 divided by 3 is 12. Okay, now let's go ahead and see what would happen if we go ahead and divide 68 by 3. Now I'm going to go ahead and do this with just our place value chart for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my place value chart. Right, so now I'm going to go ahead and split this. I have 10s and 1s, right? Now I have 6 10s, so I'm going to draw my 6 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 8 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now we are dividing into 3 groups, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my 3 groups. So there's 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. And now let's go ahead and start dividing. So let's first start with our 10s. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 in each of my 10 spot. And then I have 1, 2, 3. So I have enough to do it one more time. So now I have 6 10s. I've used all 6 of my 10s. Ooh, let me cross those out so we know. Now let's move on to our 1s. So I'm going to put 1, 1 in each of my groups. Cross these out. I'm going to go ahead. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have enough to go do 1 in each of my 3 groups. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. But now I only have 2 left. So I don't have enough to put 1, 1 in each of my groups. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there. So how many do we have in each group? In each group, we have 2 10s and 2 1s. But we also have these 2 right here, which is the remainder. So our product is going to be equal to 22, 2 10s, 2 1s, and a remainder of 1, 2 1s. So our quotient is 22 with a remainder of 2. That's how we would write that. We could write it with a lowercase r or with a capital R. Either one will work. All right, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Let's review today's lesson objective. So today we solved 2-digit dividend division problems with a remainder in the ones place by using place value discs. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I know that division can be kind of challenging for a lot of us, but hopefully with strategies like using our place value chart and place value disc, it makes it a little bit easier for us. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next lesson. Have a fantastic day. Bye, everybody.